why does this 500 horsepower super saloon have a picture of some foliage on the side? We're talking about the Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio or four-leaf clover. It's a logo and also a model designation with a long history tainted with tragedy. Now, we're really not kidding about that long bit, because to find the first car to ever wear this badge, we had to go back more than 100 years to the RLTF or RL Targa Florio. Named after the incredibly dangerous Targa Florio road race, one of its drivers was a guy called Ugo Sivocci. He decided to stick a four-leaf clover against a white square background. Now that's quite important because you're probably more used to seeing a triangle. We'll come back to that point soon. Anyway, a four-leaf clover is not to be confused with the shamrock, the symbol of Ireland. That's got three leaves. We're talking about the four-leaf clover. Now that's long been considered a sign of good luck. It seemed to bring good luck to Sivocci immediately. After plastering it on his car, he won the 1923 Targa Florio. We can see why Sivocci placed so much stock in this good luck symbol, because the win very nearly went to Antonio Ascari, and that is the father of Alberto Ascari, who was very successful in his own right as well. Now, Ascari was in first place. He had the finish line literally in sight. It was a couple hundred meters away, but he went off the road, damaged the car, and had to wait for it to be repaired. Repaired it was. Ascari's mechanics, they got a bit carried away. They clung to the back of the car, rode with him across the finish line, only for the race organiser to say, boy, you can't do that. He was sent back to where he'd broken down, made to start again from there, but it was too late. Sivocci had gone past and taken the checkered flag. This was a real milestone in Alfa Romeo's long and illustrious history. It was its first win on the international stage, and what's more, Ascari still managed to get second place, giving Alfa a 1-2 finish. That was in April 1923, but the thing is, Sivocci didn't have long at all to bask in the glow of his magnificent victory. The following September, Sivocci was taking part in a practice session for the 1923 Italian Grand Prix at Monza. He sadly went off the track in his Alfa Romeo P1 and suffered a fatal crash. Alfa immediately withdrew its remaining two drivers, Giuseppe Campari and Alberto Ascari, and development of the Alfa P1 was cancelled. But here's the thing, the P1 was really new at the time. There were some complications surrounding the bodywork, and that meant Sivocci was running his car unpainted. And that meant that, yes, he was running without his lucky Quadrifoglio. And so it was clear, at least to superstitious types within Alfa Romeo and the wider motorsport community, that there was something in this Quadrifoglio. It really was a good luck charm if you had it on your car. The Quadrifoglio then would live on many years past Sivocci's death, but with a crucial difference. As a mark of respect for its absent friend, Alfa took one side away from the square to make it a triangle, and that's what the logo looks like today. At the same time, for also superstitious reasons, the number 17 was retired for all Italian racing drivers. Now, an interesting side note is that that number has also been withdrawn for Formula 1. That's because it was the number of the French racing driver Jules Bianchi, who sadly died in 2015 as a result of injuries sustained in the Japanese Grand Prix the year before. But going back to the Quadrifoglio, that would become the official good luck charm of all Alfa Romeo racing cars. It appeared on Grand Prix racing cars and also Formula 1 machines from the very earliest days of the championship. It also appeared in the world of sports car racing on the side of wonderful cars like the 6C and the Tipo 33. I think we should probably break for just a moment to have a listen to the letter. It appeared on touring cars, perhaps most notably on the 155 DTM. It was even very recently on a bunch of Sauber-run F1 cars from 2017 to 2023 as part of a commercial and technical partnership between Sauber and Alfa Romeo. And throughout this, the Cloverleaf has gone hand in hand with success, at least it did if you ignore the kind of Sauber stuff when they were kind of playing around in the midfield. Alfa Romeo won that other extremely dangerous Italian road race, the Mille Miglia, 11 times. The Targa Florio, if we include Sivocci's landmark victory, that was 10 times. It was a dominant force in those first 2 years of the Formula 1 World Championship, and it's also had quite a bit of success in touring cars. It's had numerous European touring car championships, and of course it won the DTM with the 155. And who can forget 4 wins at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And as we talked about right at the beginning of this video, that badge has also appeared on plenty of road cars. Now that's far from a recent thing, although Alfa Romeo did wait quite a while before finally slapping that badge on the side of a car that Joe Public could go out and buy themselves. The first of these was the Giulia TI Super of 1963, also referred to as the Giulia Quadrifoglio. It is of course quite a bit less powerful than the modern Giulia Quadrifoglio, but that being said, the 110 horsepower from its twin carbureted 1570cc inline-4 was at the time pretty spicy. To go with that power output, there were various weight reduction measures including plexiglass rear windows and even magnesium wheels in 1963. All of that meant the car weighed just 900 kilos, any less and it would probably blow away in the wind. The Alfa Sud also had a Quadrifoglio version, although good luck trying to find one today, as the vast majority of them have probably rusted into the ground and formed part of the Earth's crust. Other cars to use that Quadrifoglio Verde designation include the Spider, the Sprint, the 33, the 75 and the 145. Now, a personal note, I used to own a 145 Cloverleaf and I ended up selling it for 500 quid because no one really wanted it. And yes, before you tell me in the comments, I know what they're worth now. And yes, I do lose lots of sleep over that. Moving on. For a while there was also the Quadrifoglio Oro, or the gold 4-leaf clover. Now that referred to posher versions of the Alfa Sud, the Alfetta, the 6, the 90 and the 33. Riffing off the Q from Quadrifoglio, Alfa is often referred to its four-wheel drive cars as Q4 and also its optional limited slip differential in others as Q2. Now for a little while Alfa flirted with GT8, which is another name of historical importance for the company, and quietly forgot all about Quadrifoglio. But in 2009 the badge was back with a bang with the Alfa Romeo Mito. Yeah. In a moment for the Cloverleaf badge that Alfa would really rather you forgot. It was applied to a hot hatch that was more like tepid. It used a 170 brake horsepower 1.4 litre engine, powering the front wheels via a ponderous automated manual transmission. The Mito Quadrifoglio Verde was frankly a bit. There was also a Giulietta QV coming slightly later, which was only slightly better. Thankfully, Alfa has since redeemed itself with the magnificent Giulia Quadrifoglio, a 503 brake horsepower V6 twin-turbo rear-wheel drive super saloon, and yet it's something you could genuinely choose over a BMW M3 without having lost your grip on reality. It'll be with us for another couple of years before being discontinued, and the Stelvio Quadrifoglio, which is closely related, that's going to kick the bucket a year earlier. So what next for the Quadrifoglio? Electricity. That's what. The badge will live on in Alfa Romeo's all-electric age, which will start in 2027. There will be a new Giulia Quadrifoglio, this time powered solely by batteries and motors, and it will use the same underpinnings as the recently revealed Dodge Charger Daytona. But will it be worthy of the Quadrifoglio and its long and complicated history? We'll have to wait and see. Thank you very much for making it all the way to the end of the video. Please do like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to tickle that bell icon so you're notified of all our releases. Now if you want even more content, please head over to carthrottle.com where you'll find all our latest news, reviews and features. Goodbye.